They say summer is the time to live in Chicago. Well, that's extended into autumn as we are ready to roll under blue skies at Soldier Field. This was the scene a moment ago as the Bears emerged from their tunnel. Ready for football are they, and ready for football are we as the Bears get set to match up with the San Francisco 49ers. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. D Ford in there to bury him for a loss of 11. A lot of talk the other day about them wanting to quiet this home crowd early and often. Very first play of the game, they do just that.
You're exactly right about that, because that's often a conversation when you go on the road and you travel. Hey, let's take the crowd out of it. What a great way of doing so by putting the quarterback on the deck.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. To throw is Fields. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
2 things you can do in that situation: run and punt the football, or try and take your shot at getting the first down. They chose the latter, but they'll have to punt all the same.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And the punt kicks out of bounds, and they will spot it right at the 25-yard line. Off of play action, here's Lance. This is caught. It's Brown. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big connection on that one. 36 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. And now the Bears going to signal for another timeout. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. The tackle by Robert Quinn. Well, this defense for the Bears, they were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
5 yards remain on 2nd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
On first down, Mitchell. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front. And the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
They'll run on first down. It's Mitchell. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Elijah Mitchell with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Niners have taken the early lead. Gold able to tack on the extra point. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And, Charles, you look at these two teams, and these are those kind of litmus test games in the second half of the season that if you're a coach or a player, you can either really look forward to them or really dread them, depending on your point of view.
And if you're dreading them, you're not going to go very far in the playoffs. You need to look forward to these kind of games because here we've got 2 division leaders, both real contenders for the NFC title. And you're right, you love having easy games on your schedule, but you need some games like this to toughen you up a bit and ensure that you're ready for the shock of playoff football.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28, and into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. Gould with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Here's Jones to bring it out of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
2nd and 6. On play action, Fields. He'll leave it for Montgomery complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Justin Fields, at quarterback, gets the completion there. CD, what do you think the key is to stopping this talented former Buckeye?
Pressure, pressure, pressure. Rookie quarterbacks have to survive the initiation of the pressure of the NFL. Now, his athleticism can scare you a little bit because if he evades it, he can go a long way. But in the beginning, you want his eyes to go to the rush, not downfield. So bring those extra guys and see if he can handle it. I spotted man coverage on the outside. I expect we'll see a lot of that from this defense as this game moves on. And that was a good job there as that one was knocked away.
On second down, it's Montgomery. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Fields. Looking downfield for Jones. This is caught inside the 15. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And off comes to Montgomery. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Now Fields. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. And he's got Mooney in the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Darnell Mooney, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears have cut it to within a score. Santos with the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On play action, Lance. It's caught, Mitchell. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game? That's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a 1st down.
On 1st down, Lance. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Another try after the 1st down sack. Lance. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Throwing his Lance on 3rd down. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and the Bears are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. 3rd and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him, and what I mean by that is what you said. 3rd and long, got to push it downfield to try and pick up the 1st down. Defensive backs live for this situation, and they took advantage of the young man right there.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. 2nd and 10.
Right there, 54, right there, 54 Mike.
Back to throw, Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
I I know I spend a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Looking deep downfield. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A big play that time through the air. 37 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Montgomery on the counter. And despite the fancy footwork we saw, they'll get to him just inside the 15. The tackle by Arik Armstead.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. David Montgomery with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and we are tied here in the second quarter. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
They're looking for Kittle, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Trey Boston. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates are going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Throwing again on second down. Fields. This one swung out to Montgomery. Call it a gain of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Well, this is Montgomery with a grab over the middle. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Fields now to throw. Open man, he finds Kmet. Touchdown, Chicago. Cole Kmet as the first half is winding down. And the Bears have taken the lead. Santos with the extra point. And the lead is now 21-14. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going deep for Brown. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
The 49ers going to have the football and trailing on the scoreboard as we get back underway on EA Sports. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they're down on the scoreboard. Sort of a sloppy first half. And Coach Davis, if you were in the locker room, what would the message have been?
I think I'd have to go with something you don't ordinarily go with in the NFL. That's a fire and brimstone. You've got to fire these guys up. Make them understand what's going on out there. They were so sloppy in the first half. Too many turnovers. Tighten things up. Maybe get in their face a little bit. Get in their grill. And then send them back out.
Right back to Mitchell on second down. 66 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
On first down, it's Mitchell. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games. And we're seeing a pretty good one right now, hotly contested in the third quarter. And now a hook up downfield on second down. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big connection on that one. 32 yards. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now a give, right side. Mitchell. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Play action, now it's Lance. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Lance going to throw. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Now a play fake. Lance. They'll roll him out right. Oh, it's complete. A diving grab there by Brown. And it's complete. In the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. Marquise Brown with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the 49ers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and it will tie our game here in the third. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Their halftime lead now evaporated. We're back to level following that touchdown a moment ago.
And that shouldn't change the mindset a whole lot from an offensive perspective because they already knew this was going to be a hard-fought game. Now they just need to go out, execute their game plan, and keep moving.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
Second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Off play action, Fields. And this will be caught by Mooney. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Steps away to his left. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. It was the safety blitz that ultimately did the job, and they're going to credit him with a sack. On second down now, it's Montgomery. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. 45 yards rushing for him now to this point.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a fourth down. And that's off the right upright, and it bounces away no good. So a chance to give his guys a second half lead there, but it goes by the wayside.
And Brandon, that's the worst sound in the world for an NFL kicker. Gong!
That was good. Do that again.
Gong!
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at about the 31. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle. Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
And he'll work this one up to about the 38. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. And firing a deep ball for Kmet. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here's Chris Jones now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter. And just not much to be had there. 1 yard out to the 10. Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying All is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that one or two guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible. So I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope, and it's hard to stop the fall. I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Dane Cruikshank. And they will score a pick six for a Bears touchdown. Santos now to add the PAT. And it's good. That makes it a 28-21 game. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And can they regroup? That's the question. The pick six hurt, no doubt, but this is still a one-score game here in the fourth. Now a pass dumped off to his running back. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Lance to throw it. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Gray. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the fourth. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
Lance now on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Brown. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick six just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have to have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
And Lance's throw complete here to Ayuk. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
On 2nd and 9, Lance. They'll run the screen with Mitchell. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. There'll be a loss of 6 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Throwing now is Lance. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Mario Edwards flies in to blow that play up.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and goal with this game still hanging in the balance. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. They will give to the big fullback Juszczyk. And across the goal line into the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. His 4th rushing touchdown on the campaign, number 7 overall. And the 49ers are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. All right, now what can the Niners do as they face a big 2-point conversion here? They'll try and run it in. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. And he is not going to reach the goal line. A courageous call to try for 2, but they will remain down by a point. And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 65 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. A give. This is Montgomery. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And they've got to feel good about this performance. I think you'd agree, matched up against a top 5 defensive unit in the league, and they pretty much had their way.
Yeah, that was the interesting part about it, because normally when we see this defense play, they have their opportunities and they make their plays, don't they? They knock them back on their heels. They take the ball away. They change field position. In this case, what you said is so apt. They had their way with them, took it to them, and knocked them back on their heels and surprised the heck out of them.
So for Chicago, the victory moves them to 7-1 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the 49ers, they dropped just their 2nd game so far as they fall to 5-2. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Arizona.